Good evening. Hi. Hi.
Hi,
How
Jackson.
are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to the Uncut. It's really good to have you on. Perfect. So, how was your trip to Germany?
It went extremely good. The sunshine could have been better, but I had a good, time. The food was spectacular. The people are amazing. It's a great place. Great place.
What food did you eat? Standard would be Schnitzel or Leberkäse or Brezel,
I tried a Flammkuchen.
Flammkuchen. That's a one
So
to
good.
try.
So good. Really
Cool. Well,
tastes. Yeah.
next time I'll show you around when you're towards more my area.
Sounds great.
And what about Jamaica as well? Because you've had Jamaica on the list as well, Jackson.
Ah,
Jamaica Faye was an unforgettable experience.
Yeah.
I think the climate was just unbelievable. It's my place. The sun, the heat,
The
wow,
food, the
amazing.
food.
The food was super good, and every single person I met was so
Yeah.
kind, so caring, would help you with anything. I thought, my God.
So did you stay in Montego Bay or Ocho Rios?
I stayed in Montego Bay and
Yeah,
then I did two trips. I did one to Negril
Big
and the
Hill, yeah.
other into Kingston.
Oh, lovely. And you visited Bob Marley's house, did
I
you?
did, yes.
oh
Oh,
my God.
wonderful, wonderful experience. Absolutely.
What did you see? Like, explain now.
So in the tour, we got to go in like to the tombs.
Mhm.
I believe the tomb was with Bob and his brother or his uncle. I'm not 100% sure, but we actually was able to go into the house, into the lounge, into the actual birthplace. And my
Yes.
goodness, the energy was really emotional there.
Did you see
Really.
Wow.
Bob? Did you
I
see Bob?
didn't. No, sadly not. Sadly not.
So, just for the viewers, because they might not understand why Faye just said, "Did you see Bob?" So, what we understand is that you, Jackson, you're a medium, right? Could you explain to everybody what that actually means?
Absolutely. Without going into a depth and into any complicated ideas, a medium is somebody who has the ability to communicate with discarnate minds, those minds who are no longer here on our earth.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Ramona was very excited when I told her about you, Jackson, because
Thank you.
Jackson and I came across each other over a year ago,
It's
Yeah.
about that, yeah.
and we kept following each other and sending little nice cheeky messages. And I was so curious to know more about Jackson myself, and I had the most wonderful, wonderful reading. Honestly, it was just incredible. And I think since then, I can tell that lots of people have followed you since then,
Yeah.
Jackson, because I can see they're the people that I've told.
Thank you so much.
And honestly, I'm just saying it now before we get carried away with other stuff. If you want a reading that's true, complete, and sincere, Jackson's the man.
Thank
Okay, like, can I be like first on the list now?
you. Of course. No problem.
So how do you like get into? I've seen some mediums. Do celebrity mediums, and like they sit with Paris Hilton and a lot of other celebrities and actors. And I see there's one guy, I forgot his name. He sketches a lot on a book, and then
Tyler Henry.
Tyler Henry, exactly. And he that's how he kind of goes. What is actually your process when you do a medium?
Good question. So I am what is known as a cognitive medium. And cognitive medium is so rare because I do not have to be in any altered state in order to be able to communicate with those intelligences of the spirit world. So it's like, for an example, I've met mediums who may need half an hour in absolute quietness before working. Whereas I've trained my mind to immediately switch it on. I do my work and I just switch it off naturally. So I don't
Wow.
have to think, I don't have to do anything. It happens quickly and it's quite a fast process.
So is it on or off at the moment, Jackson?
Yes, it's totally off. Yeah.
So could you now, if I said, could you switch it on, you could literally just switch it on?
I could, yes. However, it is important to understand that when you consult a medium, that every session is experimental. There are no guarantees.
Yeah. Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
Another great question. So I was born into a mediumistic family where my father is an international medium, healer, teacher, and author. He's taken his work into 11 other countries. My mother is a trained psychologist and also counselor. And along her journey, she met my dad and he trained her, and she is an excellent healer. So she sort of combines the psychology work and the mediumship into one. And I am not the only child. I have 5 other siblings.
Wow.
And all of our sort of myself and the 5 other children are all mediumistic. We are all gifted in our own way.
So can I ask a question, Jackson?
Of course.
So you said that your mother was a psychologist and your father trained her to be a healer. So I could be a healer if I wanted to be, could I? If I said tomorrow morning, right, I'm going to Wales and I'm going to have 6 weeks with Jackson's father because I want to be a healer, that's possible, is it?
Yes and no. I can elaborate upon that. I truly believe that every person who is brought into this physical world is naturally gifted. Every person is naturally born with a 6th sense. However, if the potential for healing is there, it can be cultivated, it can be brought out into the best possible way, allowing you to achieve whatever it may be the spirit world are wanting to take that further.
But how do one know that? What is the signs? Because lots of people say, oh, you're very warm when I speak to you, Faye. You make me feel very lovely. But that's a throwaway comment. That doesn't really mean much. What does it really mean? That's what I'm saying to you.
I think you as a person would have to, of course, acknowledge your own personal experiences. That is one level. The second level would be discussing your sensitivity as a person, because I've said it to you many times, you are super sensitive, Faye, and I feel you have this natural warmth and compassion, wanted to help other people in humanity. That is step number 2. And then I feel that it is down to the individual to, of course, explore that sensitivity. And the only way you could explore that internal gift is by going to someone who has the knowledge, the experience, and the education, who can allow you to explore your own innate abilities and then point you into the right direction of how your gift is working. What's the best way for you to unfold your gift? And it then goes on and on from there.
Do you think people are frightened of it, Jackson? Because it's not like hundreds of people are into that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Many people out there who are natural mediums, natural healers, who are walking amongst us and have no idea.
We won, as you say, a part of that circle.
Highly possible. It's highly possible, but that is something that you have to sort of find upon yourself, because on many times there are many people who have extraordinary experiences in life and think, yeah, right, That did not happen. That's impossible. And they completely throw it aside and don't take the time to process it, think about it, or even talk about it.
It's like, I know, right? Like, to be honest, I'm like the type of person who, like, I believe in, where there's good, there's evil. I believe in, like, there is most likely, an afterlife, and if not, I'm not really sure, because I don't want to speak of something I have no knowledge of, right? But I just feel like I love horror movies. I think that's my problem. That when it comes to this kind of talk, I'm all that hero when it comes to let's go watch The Conjuring or whatever. But then when it comes to like this stuff, I'm like, shit. The reason why I love all this stuff, because it's in the TV. And it's not,
On that exact note and topic, it's such a great, interesting discussion when it comes to like TV programs and movies, because I can honestly say it's over exaggerated. And especially when we talk about the term Ouija board, it's got a negative name.
That scares me.
Every person is so terrified. They don't want to talk about it, and it's because of the movies. It has installed this negative conception. It's dangerous.
So what is the Luigi board about, in your personal words?
How I would view that, just to break it all down, the Ouija board is no different to tarot cards. It is a tool. It's simply a tool that one can use to facilitate a level of communication. Yes, in the wrong hands, they are dangerous. But from a whole, it is a tool. It's nothing more.
What if someone uses that tool, but they just don't really know how to use that tool, and can something really dangerous happen from that? Like if somebody's like, I want to try it, and then they do it, but they just don't know what they're doing, could they pull something that really shouldn't have been pulled through the cards or a Ouija board?
I think it's all down to personal intention. If you set your intention to those intelligences in the spirit world and explain, I am interested in this subject matter, I'm curious, I want to know more. And if you set the intention for the highest form of communication, you may get positive results. But it's when it's those who have no intention and are so ignorant and just think, okay, it's fun, I'm going to have a drink, I'm going to take another sort of substance and then experiment. Wrong idea, because it's the wrong intention. But if you set your intention and you are an honest, kind, sincere person who wants to help humanity, nothing can go wrong. And it's a true statement. Like attracts like, and what you set out in your mind is exactly what you get back. It's so true.
Wow. So if we talk about you, Jackson, as a child going to school, did you know you had this gift when you were small? Because what age were you aware that you were different? Because I've worked with children over 30 years, as you know, and you and I had a very frank discussion about some of the children that I worked with. I knew they were special. I knew they were different, but they were labeled with autism, they were labeled with ADHD, they had all these labels, yet they were very talented boys, and they were all boys that I worked with, by the way. And I used to look at some of them and say, right, but there's just something was not sitting. So this is why I want to talk to me about that, because I think that's really interesting about you and maybe some of the children I've seen over 30 years.
I was not an ordinary child. Let's start there. And I believe my first experiences with the spirit world started at the age of 9 months old.
Oh my God.
And as a child at that age, I could not interact or even speak. But every Sunday morning, my father would be sat sort of in our lounge, and I would just go into this sort of light state of trance, and my head would lock. And for 10 minutes, I would speak a language that nobody could possibly understand.
Oh my God.
And it happened for several years. And now, until this exact day, my father is angry down to the fact he did not record it. And the exact reason why, to him, it was normal. He never thought anything of it. But now he looks back, something very special began to happen as that child at that age. And then as I grown on and I started my school, I can confidently say that I struggled in school. I struggled.
What did you struggle with? What was it? Because I think I'm seriously thinking that you could be a valuable resource for other people, children in school now, because schools are at a crisis point at the moment with different reasons, yeah, and mainly because of the behaviour of children.
Absolutely, I agree, Faye. I struggled to read, I struggled to write, I struggled to count, I struggled with numbers, and even until this moment in my adult life,
yes,
on a clock, I cannot tell the time. And it's not because I'm stupid, it's not because I have learning problems. It's down to my sensitivity. Like, my whole childhood in school was hard because I myself was labeled of being dyslexic, I've got learning difficulties, I'm autistic, and then on the other scale, my speech.
Yeah.
So it's many different layers combined into one. And I can say that I am an intelligent young man, but in my name, in my own way. And many children who are labeled with certain things, they are creative. They may not be able to read or count, but my goodness, they are creative children who can inspire through art, color, maybe music, maybe drama. It's
sports.
Yes, absolutely. And it's because every child, they have their own needs. And it's because a child's needs aren't in the whole as what the school is asking for.
Yeah.
So the child then has to go through this certain uncomfortable phase of life. Why can't I read? Why can't I count? Why am I being told that you don't fit
in necessarily? Like everybody else wants you to fit in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And then on the other scale, you have the mother and the father who have to try and deal. It's layer upon layer, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
So which number were you within the 5 siblings? Where were you numbered?
I am the youngest child. I've got 4 sisters and I've got 1 brother.
Yes.
My 4 siblings are very mediumistic, as well as my brother. But they choose not to do anything, which is totally fine. It's totally fine.
So could they read and write and to the time then?
I don't know about that, and it's because I'm not so close to them. So I can't answer that per se, but I know I can only speak upon me as a whole. Hasn't been easy in school. Has not been easy.
So to go back, because we just went to siblings, but I want to go back to your journey in school. So from my understanding and what I've seen as well, obviously not as much as maybe Faye, because she's been in the educational industry for a long time. But of course, I was a student once. I was in school once, and I went from one country to another. I felt also like the outsider in many ways. It might not be the clock, might not be numbers. I was quite fast in certain things. Maybe that's just how I am. But I felt different, right, from the beginning. My question to you is, the fact that you did feel so different, is that why? Because some of the people I used to know, including myself, the only way I could express myself is through performance and acting and doing things, and like all the high energy I always had was that was my way of kind of releasing that. Is and also sports, netball, basketball, you name it. I wanted to be part of everything just because it made me feel good. Did your journey, like your siblings are obviously not doing it, but did you fall into the medium sector because that it made you feel like you could release and be yourself, and be like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Because by helping someone else and by doing such a thing, it really makes you feel content.
It's my sort of calling, and all I think about 24/7, how can I help people? I am here to serve and to help humanity. I'm not at any sports. I'm not good at any different kind of topics. All I know is how to help and how to care. So yes.
That's the way for you. I
Yeah.
mean, it's incredible. I mean, I would have never, ever, like when you talk about your speech and the way you talk about kind of the clock, it's an interesting thing. I've seen a documentary where this person could see the clock only halfway. And
wow.
when they saw the clock halfway, the rest of the numbers after 6 p.m. were reversed.
Wow.
So the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, and the funny thing is nothing, so the doctors couldn't understand it, right? But they thought, okay, there's something wrong here. But there wasn't. It's just that's the way they saw time. Can you believe it? So time made sense to them, but like how time makes sense to us, 12 to 12. But to them, time made sense 6 to 12, 12 to 6.
That one down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because time runs in different speeds for all of us. You do know that, right? Like, so
Yes.
the time I'm living in, I'm in Germany now. So this is obviously, you know that I live here. You're in the UK, and wherever you are, maybe one person is in UAE. All our time is different. What we're experiencing through that time frame is different. And this, I think, came from that. I'm watching a lot of documentaries, guys, and a lot of theories. So when you talked about time, I was like, so interesting, because you have a different version of time, the way you see it and experience it.
Of course. And I also think that every single kind of person experience things.
Something must have happened.
I could say that I was showing signs that I wasn't a normal child.
No.
And I was blessed to have a father who has a big knowledge, could explain everything. And I felt at ease. I felt at ease because I then knew I'm okay. I am totally a normal person, a normal child.
How old were you then? Because you said at 9 months. How do you know that happened at 9 months? Did your father tell you that happened at 9 months?
He did, yes. I can't remember anything exactly, but he has, of course, explained it, and it's quite.
And when do you remember? Like, when is it when you're like, oh, and then your father told you it's okay, son, and not had the knowledge and the understanding to guide you through it. But when did you how back do you remember this? When you knew?
I would say from the age of 7.
Wow.
The age of 7, I had this deep love in like the paranormal, like the ghost sort of programs, and I just was so intrigued. I thought, wow. And then from that age, I wanted to know more and more and more and more. And then my father had a school which was based in Stockholm, over in Sweden.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
He actually up there, and I started my first ever international trip, I believe, at the age of 13.
Oh. So did you come out of school then? Were you not in the British school system?
I was still in school, but I had to sort of hide it because I was always judged, bullied, and
Imagine.
it was hard. It was
I-
really
oh,
hard.
I can imagine. You'd be so amazing. Oh my God, if I could borrow you for several months, we could go touring in schools, Jackson, because I
Help other
really,
children.
yeah, absolutely, there's hundreds and hundreds of them out there. And I know it, and I honestly know in my heart. And I think that's why I was drawn to working with those kids for 30 years, because my school wasn't an ordinary school. All the
Makes
boys that went there had social, emotional, mental health. That's what they say, because that's what they were told. However,
sense.
absolutely. And this is why I'm looking at someone as beautiful as yourself. And
Thank you.
oh my goodness, I hope there were people out there that did support you while you were in school, that knew that there was something different about Jackson.
Unfortunately not. Never, ever, ever. Never. And I was always misunderstood. I was sort of being picked on. Not easy, but I am who I am.
Yes.
That is it. That is
Yeah.
it.
I'm just so fascinated, also, Jackson, because obviously I keep going back to your dad that trained you and said, this is the path for you, son. What was your strength? Was it the cognitive stuff, or which was your strength?
I think it would be my healing work, because it is something that I just naturally sort of fell into, and I had no idea how. I first started out by placing my hands onto people's bodies.
I need to get out and see you very quickly.
Oh my God.
Then there were many people who were starting to have extraordinary experiences, and many people could actually feel like my hands physically enter the physical body.
Wow.
Able to help a lot of people who have ailments. It could be trauma.
I know, and I need my back sorted, Ramona. And Jackson knows this because he told me on my reading, and I never told him. He told me that it's on my left side, lower. I just need to get it sorted. And I've been to the physio. I've spent hundreds of pounds at the
If that's your biggest problem, Faye, I'm gonna jump out the window, because if I started with my list, and that's not just even physical but even emotional, I mean, I think I need to really definitely 100%. Can you do the healing like without me and you being together?
I can, yes.
Okay, I definitely need to have one like when you're free, because I feel like I've never spoken to a medium, and I think you're right. It's because I watch so much crap on TV.
Oh, good.
And I've watched enough movies since I was a kid, so even though I enjoy them, I wouldn't want to be part of that type of, and that's not where my mindset is, don't get me wrong. I'm a very positive and flowery person and a bit of a lady boss when I want to be, but I'm not, like I never wanted to get near anyone who does these kind of things, but I don't know why I have a warm feeling with you. I know it's so weird to say.
So kind.
There is something about Jackson.
Don't you feel that, Faye? Don't you feel that
Yeah.
through even the camera? It's a bit of a warm feeling.
Beautiful
Thank
thing.
you.
It really is,
All right.
Jackson.
I don't
It
know.
It is, Jackson, and I said that to you when you were following me. I don't know what it was. It was just very interesting, and I am definitely going to see. I personally would like to meet you and have a healing, and I know you can do it from long distance, but I've got to build my confidence up for that. I don't know, because I just find it amazing that you can do it from long distance. However, wow, I mean, yeah, it's just incredible. You know, I've seen on your Instagram, there's people with some bars, so they're laying on a bed and there's all bars on their body. What's happening there?
Okay, so on Saturday, we had a like a healing sort of seminar.
Everyone who's watching this, you are one out of a billion, like, or million, billion. I don't know how many men or women are special this way, where they can do such extraordinary things. That doesn't make you weird, it makes you incredibly unique. You're a black pebble around thousands and millions of white pebbles, and you have to understand that is very unique position to be, and you should always be proud. Fuck what happened in school, forget whoever said whatever they said to you. You are who you are today. You're the stronger version of that boy in school, and you should now look back and think, my motive in life is to help people. What is your motive? What's your motive, Katie? What's your motive, John? And you have to think that what the differences you're making is something that other people cannot do.
Yes. Yeah. And people need to know about people like you, Jackson. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid, and you're clearly not. You're opening up windows and doors with spirits that no one would dare to experience or step into. And you know, you've seen things none of us ever have. You felt things that none of us ever have. To be part of that and to understand it, I think everybody should open the door and listen to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Make sure Germany's like a regular visit, because the next time you come,
it's actually picking up. It's so busy there.
I want Jackson just to come up the road to London or somewhere, or Cambridge. That'd be nice.
I bet you he'll come to Germany before he goes to Cambridge.
Yeah. You're right there.
Because who doesn't love a part 2? And you know, at the end of the day, today we've had so much from you, and it's amazing. Your journey, your childhood experience, such an extraordinary experience, and people are listening. You know, and people want to know 1000% more. So we'll definitely do a part 2.
Yeah.
We're relaxing.
Thank you.
No, absolutely.
I'm just as a privilege to have Jackson on, and I think it'd be great for people to know that Jackson Jones _medium is where you can catch him on Instagram. That's really important if you want to follow Jackson. And Jackson and I'll be in touch anyway, because we do speak regularly with little DMs and little messages. And I'm hoping to get out to Wales and get my back healed. So that would be great. Fantastic. I'm really
welcome, Faye, anytime. I'm also having an Airbnb, so
fantastic.
You have an Airbnb?
Yes, in the home.
Do you in the home? Okay, so you rent it out like within your home to people who travel?
Yes. Yeah.
How does that feel, having someone down? Like, can you see, or are you on separate levels?
It's quite strange, but it's good. You know, people come and go here. It's natural. Yeah.
Do you do mediums for these people when they come? Like, do you show them that you do the you're in this industry, in this profession?
No.
Okay. Okay.
People are put off. They're like,
really?
So I sort of,
You know what you should do? You should increase the price of the the Airbnb and say a free session of
package.
Package, and then see how many people queue up and line up on your Airbnb.
Good idea. It is a good idea.
Thank you so much, Jackson. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming to the Uncut Show. We will definitely have a part 2.
Definitely, 100%. It's been absolutely fantastic. Lovely, really lovely. And we've got lots more that we want to quiz you about as well.
Absolutely.
Your kind words and your guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackson. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.